Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlicker, shills, death slicers, peasant, vassals, minions, meat sacks, drones. Again, I'm Useful Idiot, and let's go to the Middle East in Syria and Iraq, and let's talk about drones again. But this time, it's interesting because we find ISIS are now using drones, and not quite the same way the United States uses drones, but it's still a very interesting story because it shows the adaptability and the resourcefulness of our so-called enemies in that region, and how they can adapt some technologies. In fact, when you get into the details, it becomes even more interesting. So we have ISIS dropping bombs with drones in Iraq, particularly in the Mosul campaign. And one aspect of this is scratch-built drones, and the links I have below show pictures of them and how they're constructed. And I guess the areas of Mosul that have been liberated, they're finding these workshops where a lot of the pieces that go into this, so they take all kinds of munitions and WD-40 and duct tape and all kinds of odds and ends from different munitions, and they create these new from scratch drones. But more interesting is the fact that they're buying these commercial off-the-shelf drones and adopting them. And they can't carry very much, and they don't have much range, but they can use them to drop grenades. They can use them for scouting. They can use them for decoys, and apparently they even use them for guiding suicide trucks. So always interesting to see this new technology and how it's adapted by resistance around the world, and now these terrorist groups, or whatever you want to call them, that are operating in the Middle East. But there's been a lot of reports over the last several months, particularly during the Mosul campaign. We had Iraqi forces that have been attacked, and that's been documented attacked by drones. Last October, we had a few Kurdish soldiers that died dismantling a booby trap drone, and then two French commandos were also wounded by a drone attack. So pretty interesting to see. But I just thought it was an interesting story because the whole profile of drones and the use of drones by the United States, and yet we have the same technology being adapted in the battlefield, albeit at a very primitive level, but really interesting to see. So all this stuff always comes back to haunt us one way or another, doesn't it? I'm Useful Idiot. Don't you be one too.